If you're over 65 and worried about Alzheimer's or dementia, the right diet might be your strongest defense. Imagine being able to lower your risk of cognitive decline simply by changing what you eat. But what exactly is the MIND diet, and how is it different from all those other diets you've heard about? What foods do you actually need to eat, and is there solid science proving it works? Most importantly, how can you start adding these foods to your daily meals right now, without overhauling your entire lifestyle? In this video, we'll uncover how the MIND diet works and why it's been shown to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. Plus, how you can start using it today to protect your brain, maintain your independence, and improve your quality of life. Don't miss the opportunity to safeguard your brain health with simple, powerful changes. Let's dive in. But first, listen carefully to what the brain behind this diet has to say about Alzheimer's and dementia.
But know that there's an exponential increase in the prevalence of the disease with older age. So only about 3% of those 65 to 74 years of age will have Alzheimer's disease, but this increases to almost 50% of those 85 years and older. And right now, we don't have a cure, and the treatments aren't all that effective. So this places quite a bit of emphasis on prevention, and luckily there's been a lot of progress in the area of Alzheimer's prevention.
Meet Dr. Martha Clare Morris, a distinguished professor of epidemiology at Rush Medical College and a leading figure in Alzheimer's research. In 2017, she delivered the keynote address at the Wisconsin Alzheimer's Disease Research Center's fall lecture titled The Science Behind Alzheimer's Disease Prevention and Brain Health. Dr. Martha was a pioneer in researching how dietary interventions can work to prevent Alzheimer's disease. With Dr. Martha's insights, we'll explain how the MIND diet can help prevent Alzheimer's and dementia. But first, what are Alzheimer's and dementia, and why is preventing them so important? Alzheimer's disease and dementia are rising health concerns in the world today, affecting millions annually. A study from the National Institutes of Health estimates that over 6 million people will be living with Alzheimer's in 2023, with that number expected to double by 2060 if no major medical advancements are made. Dementia, a broader term for cognitive decline, affects 1 in 3 seniors. These conditions strip individuals of their memories and decision-making abilities, often leading to a loss of independence and placing significant emotional and financial burdens on families. Despite the devastating impact of Alzheimer's and dementia, research shows that lifestyle choices, especially diet, can significantly reduce the risk of developing these conditions. This is where the MIND diet comes in. It's not just a trend. It's a scientifically proven approach designed to protect your brain and maintain mental sharpness as you age. So, what exactly is the MIND diet, and how can it help prevent cognitive decline? Here is what Dr. Morris has to say about it.
We compared the MIND diet score performance to the Mediterranean and the DASH diets, and the standardized beta coefficients. That's a statistic that tells us that the MIND diet effect was about double of either the Mediterranean or DASH diets. And we also found that the MIND score was effective in many different cognitive abilities, including memory and speed of thinking.
Dr. Martha highlights diet as a key factor in slowing cognitive decline, particularly emphasizing the MIND diet, which stands for Mediterranean DASH diet intervention for neurodegenerative delay. While the Mediterranean and DASH diets are renowned for heart health, the MIND diet specifically focuses on brain health. By promoting foods that boost cognitive function, it aims to help prevent Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Research shows that moderate adherence to the MIND diet can reduce the risk of developing Alzheimer's by 35%, while strict adherence can lower the risk by 50%. This isn't just a hopeful theory. It's backed by science. A 2015 study published by the National Institutes of Health revealed that the MIND diet can significantly slow cognitive decline, even in older adults at higher risk for dementia. The MIND diet stands out by emphasizing brain-healthy foods like leafy greens, berries, whole grains, and nuts, while limiting foods that may harm brain health. such as red meat, processed foods, and butter. This targeted approach helps support cognitive function and reduces the risk of decline. But how exactly does the MIND diet work to protect against cognitive decline? You see, the diet's main goal is to support brain health by emphasizing foods that improve brain function while limiting those that harm it. Research shows that specific nutrients can slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease and even help prevent it. The science behind this lies in the nutrient-rich food's ability to fight inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which are key contributors to Alzheimer's and other cognitive disorders. Chronic inflammation, often linked to a diet high in processed foods and saturated fats, plays a major role in the development of Alzheimer's disease. In contrast, the MIND diet focuses on anti-inflammatory foods rich in antioxidants and essential compounds that help reduce inflammation. This reduction in inflammation significantly lowers the risk of cognitive decline and brain cell damage. Additionally, the MIND diet limits the consumption of refined sugars, trans fats, and saturated fats, which are common ingredients in processed foods known to accelerate cognitive decline. By minimizing these harmful foods, the MIND diet helps reduce oxidative stress, a key factor in rapid brain aging. The MIND diet also promotes healthy blood flow to the brain, which is essential for optimal brain function. It includes foods that support cardiovascular health, ensuring the brain receives the oxygen and nutrients it needs. Unlike many restrictive diets, the MIND diet is flexible and sustainable. It focuses on moderation and balance rather than eliminating entire food groups. For those seeking to preserve their cognitive health without dramatically changing their lifestyle, the MIND diet provides an approachable, evidence-based solution. Now, let's explore the key foods that make the MIND diet a powerful tool for protecting your brain, starting with the nutrients most beneficial for cognitive health. The first category on Dr. Martha's list is antioxidant-rich foods, which are key to lowering the risk of Alzheimer's. Here's her advice on how to integrate these foods into your diet.
Beginning with the antioxidant nutrients, we know that antioxidant nutrients are so important, and vitamin E in particular is one of the more potent antioxidant nutrients. It's also a nutrient that's found in the brain and has been shown through multiple animal and human studies to reduce oxidative stress, decrease beta amyloid deposition in the brain, and also DNA damage and loss of neurons.
Dr. Martha highlights the critical role of antioxidants in combating oxidative stress, a process that can gradually harm the brain. Antioxidants, especially vitamins E and C, act as defenders against free radicals, which are unstable molecules that can damage cells. Vitamin E, found in foods like almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, and avocados, has been linked to a significant reduction in Alzheimer's risk. Dr. Martha's findings suggest that regular intake of vitamin E could lower the chance of developing Alzheimer's by up to 60%. The science is simple. Vitamin E helps shield neurons from oxidative stress, allowing them to function properly. Similarly, vitamin C is another powerful antioxidant that works alongside vitamin E to protect your brain. Found in foods like oranges, bell peppers, and broccoli, it helps your body recharge its antioxidants, giving your brain extra protection. Therefore, consuming a moderate amount of vitamin C can help reduce the risk of cognitive decline. Since the MIND diet focuses on antioxidant-rich foods, they play an important role in preventing Alzheimer's. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. If you find our videos helpful, please support us by dropping your comments in the comment section. The next foods Dr. Martha recommends are fish and omega-3 fatty acids.
And what they found was 50 to 60% of the dry weight structure of the brain is lipid material, and the most important lipid is DHA, one of those omega-3s. It's found in concentrated amounts in the most metabolically active areas of the brain, which includes the cerebral cortex, synaptosomes, and mitochondria. In other parts of the bodies, it's not found in highly measured amounts, except for the testes and the retina, which are also areas of very high metabolic activity. They found that DHA was very important for the structure of the brain, the membranes of the brain, and for its basic functioning. And so that's why all of our formulas now, our baby formulas, have omega-3s, and mothers are encouraged to consume fish, albeit fish that doesn't have high levels of mercury.
As Dr. Martha rightly said, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are an essential component of the MIND diet. They are low in mercury and rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly docosahexaenoic acid, or DHA, which is essential for maintaining brain function and structure. DHA constitutes a significant portion of the brain's gray matter and is super important for cognitive processes, including memory. Research by Dr. Martha and her team shows that consuming at least one serving of fatty fish per week is associated with a 60% reduction in cognitive impairment compared to those who rarely eat fish. This protective effect is largely due to omega-3's ability to reduce brain inflammation, a known contributor to neurodegenerative diseases. Dr. Martha also highlights the importance of folate in preventing memory decline and protecting cognitive function.
So moving on to folate, you can see here are the prospective studies that have looked at folate in relation to the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. And these arrows indicate that the higher folate levels, this is in diet, were associated with a lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. And it's pretty consistent.
Folate, also known as vitamin B9, is essential for the production and repair of DNA and RNA, the genetic materials that regulate cell function. It also helps lower levels of homocysteine, an amino acid that, when present in high amounts, can damage blood vessels and is associated with an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. According to a study posted on the National Library of Medicine, folate deficiency can accelerate brain aging and cognitive decline. So, including folate in the MIND diet supports its overall focus on brain protective nutrients, making it an essential component for mental health. Next, Dr. Martha emphasizes the importance of fat types when it comes to brain health.
Moving on quickly to fat composition. This table summarizes, here's all the prospective studies that have looked at fat composition in the diet and cognitive decline. So we have saturated fat, trans fat, those are the bad fats. And then we have the healthy fats, and then having a diet that's higher in the unsaturated and lower in the saturated fats. And you can see that the trans and the saturated increase the rate of cognitive decline, and the unsaturated fats decrease the rate.
Did you know that unhealthy fats like trans fats and saturated fats are associated with higher rates of dementia? On the other hand, including healthier fats, like unsaturated and monounsaturated fats, in your diet can promote better brain function. Olive oil, in particular, is highlighted as a beneficial source of healthy fats. According to a study from the National Institutes of Health, people who primarily used olive oil instead of butter or margarine had a significantly reduced risk of experiencing cognitive decline. If you're enjoying this brain-boosting approach, be sure to subscribe to our QuickTime newsletter for weekly health tips and a free 7-day meal plan based on the MIND diet. Click the link in the description box below to join. Moving on, Dr. Martha shifts focus to the importance of specific food groups in the MIND diet.
All the berries they looked at, blackberries was another one, they found that there was protection of brain function. And in particular, strawberries seemed to be more important for motor function, and the blueberries seemed to be more important for memory function.
Vegetables, especially leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collards, are strongly linked to a lower risk of cognitive decline. According to Dr. Martha's research, eating 2 or more servings of these greens daily can noticeably slow down age-related cognitive decline. This effect is mainly due to their high content of vitamin K and beta-carotene, which are both essential for brain health. Leafy greens and berries in particular are rich in brain protective nutrients. These foods help reduce inflammation and improve blood flow to the brain, making them essential for a diet focused on preventing dementia. With that being said, Dr. Martha provides a diet pattern so that integrating the Mind Diet into your lifestyle doesn't become overwhelming.
So now moving on to diet patterns. So here is the DASH diet, which was developed to prevent hypertension and lower blood pressure, and showed through many clinical trials to be very effective in cardiovascular conditions. And you're all familiar probably with the Mediterranean diet. And then we have our Mind Diet. The Mind Diet we put together in 2015 because we were interested in doing a randomized diet intervention trial to see if it could prevent cognitive decline and reduce risk of Alzheimer's in a highly controlled study. We took the basics of the DASH and Mediterranean diet because they're such well-rounded diets that have been proven over and over to be so healthy. And then we tweaked each component to incorporate all these study findings I just showed you. Because we wanted to include the most important components, nutrients, and foods that have been shown to be important for the brain. So I just showed you, some of those. Berries is not mentioned in either DASH or Mediterranean. That's highlighted in Mind, as are green leafy vegetables. Seafood we have at 1 seafood meal a week versus 6 or more in the Mediterranean diet. So there were some modifications. We took the lowest level of benefit that we saw in the brain nutrition literature. So DASH and Mediterranean have about 4 servings of vegetables per day. The Mind Diet is 2 or more. And then we assigned a score to each one of these food categories, so you had a high score of 15 or a low score of 0.
Here's a 5-step guide on how to start incorporating the key elements of the Mind Diet into your daily routine. First, begin by focusing on vegetables. According to the American Academy of Neurology, eating at least 6 servings of leafy green per week can significantly slow cognitive decline. Add a leafy green salad to your lunch or dinner every day, or saute spinach, kale, or collards as a side dish. You can also incorporate these greens into salads, smoothies, or stir-fries for added nutrition. Next, make an effort to consume more berries. The American Chemical Society has found that berries, especially blueberries and strawberries, are rich in flavonoids, which are powerful antioxidants that protect the brain. So aim for at least 2 servings of berries per week. You can add them to your morning oatmeal or blend them into smoothies. Another important step is to increase your intake of fish, particularly fatty varieties like salmon, sardines, and trout. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which support brain function. The Mind Diet recommends at least 1 serving of fatty fish per week, but consuming 2 or more servings can provide even greater cognitive benefits. Try grilling or baking fish for a healthy, brain-boosting meal. You can also add fish to salads for an extra nutritional boost. Next, try to replace unhealthy fats with olive oil, which is a staple in the Mind Diet. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats that are good for both your heart and brain. Use it in place of butter or margarine when cooking, and drizzle it over salads and vegetables for added flavor. Finally, limit foods that are harmful to brain health. Reduce consumption of highly processed foods, including processed meat, fried foods, and sweets, as these have been linked to inflammation and cognitive decline. According to research, diets high in saturated fats and sugars increase the risk of dementia. So, opt for lean proteins like poultry and plant-based sources like beans instead. So, we've covered how to use the Mind Diet to support brain health and potentially prevent Alzheimer's and dementia. But even if you're following the Mind Diet, there's still a key factor you might be overlooking: your daily habits and lifestyle choices that can make or break your brain health. So, watch this next video to uncover the top 7 lifestyle habits that, when combined with the Mind Diet, can supercharge your cognitive health and maximize your protection against Alzheimer's and dementia.